Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to our series of Hilchos of Sefiras Haomer. I would like to invite you to join us, although we're already well into the Sefira, but it's never too late to learn, to understand, and it's not very difficult to master these halachas. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing it from my Sefer, Hilchos of Sefiras Haomer, which is not a very big sefer. I think there's only about 85 pages. So it behooves you to get a copy. If you want one, you can reach out to me and I will get you one. And you can know this mitzvah and do it well. Okay, so we're going to start, since the sefer starts with the minhagim rather than the actual counting. Let's follow the sefer. Let's start with that. And we will go forward from there. So we all know the minig to observe Avelis during Sefiras Haomer, because that was the time that Rabbi Akiva's 24,000 of Talmidim died. Terrible tragedy. So we are going to observe that. And it's not only about observing the Avelis of people. Many people died throughout the years, but this was a message to all of us. The message was what happens, even if you're Talmidei Chachamim that are not being noig kavod zeh l'zeh. And by observing Avelis, it also reminds us of the fragility of our lives and how important Hashem finds it in His eyes to have, no matter how great of a Talmid Chacham you are, but how important it is to hold somebody else in the highest esteem. And even if you're a great Talmud scholar, it's not going to keep you from this very, very difficult punishment. Askar, the Gemara said, they died of choking. So that's one of the things to think about when we don't listen to music, don't go to chasanis and the like. Okay, so let's talk about when do we observe the Avelis. So there's of course, like everything else, is a machlekes. And there's two machlekes. First, whether is it 33 or 34 days, and then there's a machlekes which side of it. So the Mechaber actually says it's actually 34 days. That's why the Sfardim, even unlike Bodner, would say it's still part of the Sefira, but it's only because of the Yom Tov they're allowed to listen. However, the Ramah says it's 33 days. They both say that it's the first half, which is starting from the beginning of the count until Lag Bodner. So, however, other very valid poskim say it was the second half. We don't know for sure, and therefore there's minhagim to do that and to do that. Now, since these days there's no set minhag. For instance, if you'd be in a town that's a small town with a rabbi, like in Minnesota, wherever it was, a small town, and you have a rabbi, and the rabbi, that's the only thing, then everybody has to do the same thing. I wonder if it's like that by Rabbi Tursky's shul. That's the shul of the town. However, if you don't have, and it's in Lakewood, Brooklyn, Monsey, Eretz Yisrael, you can do whatever minig you want. You could do whatever works for you, and you could switch the years. Some years it works out. We just had a story of somebody starting a date, and he came shaved, and they said, he just switched it because he wanted the opportunity to start off on the right foot. Okay, so there are even those, the Hasidim, a lot of the Hasidim, they keep both. They keep both both stringencies. Some people say it doesn't matter. They have a beard anyway, so they don't have a problem not shaving. But anyway, in all seriousness, they keep all the minhagim. But even according to those minhagim, you're still allowed to have Lag Ba'omer, music on Lag Ba'omer. Now, Lag Ba'omer happens from the night. Really, you need to keep 33 days, which is the beginning of Lag Ba'omer, and you cannot start to stop the stringencies of the of the Avelis until a little part of the day passes. So why do we have music on the nights in Chasanis? So the answer is that Rabbanim allowed the music of a mitzvah, even on Lag B'Omer. So even though it's still Sefira, but it's the music of a mitzvah and it's allowed. So therefore, music of the Hilula of Shema Yechai is allowed. You can go to Maron and dance away. You can come to us and dance away wherever you want, wherever the festivities are. And you can go to Chasen as well, because that's also a mitzvah. So that is allowed. And that's the way through it. Now, if you're going to hold the second day, it starts from either before Rosh Chodesh or after Rosh Chodesh. If it starts before Rosh Chodesh, your 33 days ends the first day of the Shlosh Shemei Hagbala, which is 3 days before Shavuos. And then you have to wait 30 seconds or 2 minutes into the day, and then you're allowed to do everything, because we say Mixas Hayem Kekulei, when we're much lighter when it comes to the stringencies of Avelis, and therefore you have the rest of the day to do whatever you need to do. But if you hold after the 2 days of Rosh Chodesh, then you have to wait till Erev Shavuos. You don't have the leniencies of the Shlosh Shemei Hagbala. And that is, if a woman marries somebody who has a minig, she should keep his minig. And in one household, the kids should keep the father's minig, because that's Leisis Godu, that's you can't change around. But like we said before, family can decide which minig to keep on which year. Thank you very much for listening. We will continue. Mir Hashem.